Abusiafo enenso obo ade Nyankopon adom wama ye nkwa ama ya hoden ama ya sanhia na wonim se ye hia se a enye bibia se ye bedu nkomo ye betoto ye guest ano na de opese wohunu nyina no Nyankopon nam enenkomo iso ama wohunu ni nyina na ene hwan ene me guest eno ne de ye busa ansa na meda na di a kire no wada homa kame ho na yemfa aseda manwumaku a wo na so yasene a ye de Atuu ebrel de di nkan MTN ene MTN ba Ghana omanya 30 years ewa Ghana ha enya asem ketwa tie nyina ye mum ne yanka hure ene ne sen network ba ko a Ghana ha wodwene ye ho na efri bro mo ba Ghana ha omaye mpuntuo enwuma a eye mpuntudwuma a ede ne pabre o manfo no MTN aye ni nyina amaye tie omunwie yo 30 years yo modinti no omo cars mako nkono 9 Toyota Prado brand new tier rubber asiwa omo be chiche afi omo de sika botene 10 million Ghana cedis Ankrah ne 100 billion omo be chiche amo bia nya bi na de obe nie kosoa na ye call kosoa send a message kosoa receive mumu send bi there was all the MTN network ni bia no kosoa fa ye the more na wo ye no now be do point now be de kopem say wa be hu se de point no aye mama ebi kura efiegu sa point na wo be de no ene ebe kire obobre se obenya car ni bi se obenya ska ni bi ni nyina gina point na obede no so kosoa use MTN or say make every move count simple they are toss me no ye de ma this way chocolate drink de wo hia ye nsu share ebi kura de nsu nwunu no open sen me pa cho edu anwumra after 6 no ani di fam ya tia sese sa fufuo ni kabo no ma na yedi no e de oha bebrebre yen edi nti na ye papa ya de nyina adwene o manfo no de this way chocolate drink aba onoma eno no wa me ubetim the biscuit cookies cake bibia de be boso bia fa boso na chese simple nya afi na wafuru ba be hye na de be chi na sabi wafuru bom wadaroma prevent it wabra we use this way chocolate drink and kwada ni mpanyfo nyina giatumu enye na wo ba bia ye ton provisions obenya bi de atoso miensa ye de ma best point savings and loans ho ne ye kra ye sika kra bia wo do sika to a eso aba na enyini na mfaso baso eno ane best point savings and loans ko bia account nei na ebre no so na qualify say ma loan a ya na de sika ne be chesiu upompo ye de be ma ho said the betumi atumpon abrabom afi ensu esi manimi special ice mineral water say ye ayie wedding ayefro program bi a wo ye bia no ensu we na wo so de sebo ahoho wase na ye hu sampa wo ye guy wani abie ma ho fama matade a hyemi efri soro koka fom minua bema ba ko a owo kumase ye fe no mixer Mr. Lex yes ni dino no Mr. Lex ena sisi me kama na ni clothing ayini ye Lex Cloth ewo Instagram ubetumi a friend was 0240 222246 0240 222246 Mr. Lex ena sisi me Lex Cloth ewo kumase o friend na onsabeka bi mempaboa as usual osofo shoes owo pick farm ofra bedi pela brosan na obato west kotoba bia otra bedi abrosan na no san benkum so left eho eno osofo shoes wo enkoda emma mpanyifo obia benya ne so ne mpaboa ewo osofo shoes ko na kotobi utu akoton a ni nyina akonya wo ho se oba na yeboa wo ene hwan ne me guest twen na yentwa ho ne mra ye ba Mary Vili me guest amao Atuu yada se wajibre na watwe ne atwa ho aba ya ba die na che se ubese ye de be hihye so ane sa na ene opanyini a manya kwanya tena nanim na me betoto na ne edi nkomo enye obia se yankasa ye de hye yawo Ampofo Ankrah opanyini eyen centroni because you say once a journalist always a journalist. I say soja adwuma. Unye wuram na kwa pension kra still na no uye soja. Na adwuma no owom onyaye. One or the other no. Adwuma na no oye no. Ene ni position e wo Ghana ha. Ene say wono na ye opanyini a woda National Sports Authority ano. Na ni nyuma ni bi ye den. Woda homa. Ene ye beto na no pa. Minia Atuu.
When energy there, easy.
We cross me the Atuu from kakra.
Wow.
I think say nene first day officially me no share.
Okay.
Nice meeting.
Nice meeting you. It's a blessing. Yeah.
Na bacho ho ye de.
Me pacho me ho ye pa.
I say o trademark there no a o. E che no.
Me so na me papa cheche. Me so I got into and then be tree English.
Of course. Wait me that
me na me pe chepa ma me kind of slowly na man kind of wrong. Na me pe a chepa. It's I've been wearing hats since I was young and over time na bet say a part of me me brand.
Yes.
It's in pabo measure trousers top any a check. A channel there it's become part of me and sometimes me Pierre Bonson I feel like hey, there's something wrong. It's a baby uniform, right.
It's every day be out
literally every day.
Wow.
Just I go home or privately. Yeah. I am a uniform.
Wow.
Right.
And it looks so good on you.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Yes. I don't have a pretty head like you. That's right.
Yamishirao say waje yenso na na yebebo nkomo. Adwuma yi mo sha ase ne yenso yeba mu.
Yeah.
Monamo na mutwato ho no eno ene yenso yedi mu ayeba. Yamishira mo se mutwa sapato ho.
Amen.
Yamishira mo pa. Ene de enye personality profile. Isa say Ghana had obi anymore. Enti no yeba be ko business ni mo ankasa na yedi nkomo yi. Na make say you were a journalist and you are still a journalist. I don't know, say who officially no bow out there. We want to know, are you still part of us? Or you a journalist still?
Say now kind I mean the training is there. Yes. And the trades and it's still part of me. Yes. But officially media house. Any media house be a juma. But I have a lot of contacts, network, media. Yeah. But I'm not practicing as a journalist. So yeah, officially there I'm not practicing, but I'm still a journalist. Once a soldier, always a soldier. Yeah.
Obi beka say ansa na aban be appoint obi na wa man position no. Na e bia nipa na ka party no e ma no ho. Udi isa na tie ana say how did you land this job as the director of National Sports Authority?
Oh, mommy, warm up, crash street. It's a very good question. First of all, I'm say we use a platform with such a well-respected and credible platform. Atuu there. I think back in the day, Abeku Santana.
Yeah, now
yes.
Abeku. I know.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So many years, and you've held the fort so well.
Thank you.
Maybe I'm a need. I mean, it's by God's grace. Yeah. Honestly, sir. The credit. So, look, if you talk about people who are qualified to be in this seat, me assure say, Oman being John Dramani Mahama, he would have had a long list, hundreds of people, if not more, equally qualified or even more qualified. But I always believe that whatever happens is by God's grace, and I don't take that lightly. It's in terms of maybe I'm FIBA, where I am and how I got here, it is purely by God's grace. Yes, meaning that they will look at what I've done in the space in terms of sports, the media, branding, marketing, and other areas. And so, just recently, I'm an author. My first book, actually my second, but this one was properly launched. The Power of Words.
This particular one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's more of a guidance. After the Bible is number one. And, respectfully to our Muslim brothers as well, they have theirs. Whether you're a Jew, everybody has his holy book. Yeah. But for me, the Bible is number one. Okay. And then comes the Power of Words, which is, a motivational daily bread after your Bible.
I'm sure I will need one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sure. So in terms of my affiliation, I've always been an admirer of President Mahama. At one point, not me a parliamentary correspondent or multimedia, Joy FM. So that is where I first got to meet the Honourable Member of Parliament for Bole Bamboy. I think he was going through his last stages. That's where I met before he became President Mahama or even Vice President. And I had a liking to this man, very affable, very calm, always. When you be doing komwa, you find that the person, there's a vibe. He's got a warm energy about him. And, I always remember that. And, as time went on, and then one day, a situation came, he was vying for the presidency. There was no persuasion. And this would be I persuaded him and said, may support you know. And I did that because I know the person. Maybe not as much as others, but the few interactions that I know, I was very pleasantly humbled by his humility and the way I would that time would be. And I thought, say, if this man becomes president, it would be a bonus. Until from that time, I threw my weight behind the man, John Dramani Mahama, President Mahama. And then, of course, as you would have it, Mebra Peninsula, NDC party, Honorable Elvis, a free Ankrah. But ironically, it wasn't on influence and I'm a bar to support President Mahama. I was blessed to have met the man. Right. And they say, oh, go and support this man because I've met him. We've had discussions. And now about program or Elwak Sports Stadium, I have a friend of Books and Boots. It was short notice and project for communities that are less endowed. Into that was a final. I defeat different communities. Nimane, Chokoma, Mubeno Mobebo, Elwak, and we invited them at short notice. And lo and behold, Obaye. It's Ankrah. It just I was so humbled by that. So I had very, very good, and I continue to have very, very good vibes about him. And I'm sure, say from afar and from close up, and also on Monetame. But to be here, it's not about alone, say, qualifications. That there are so many factors. Sure. If you all cry, you may not be aware. Up to now, let me be someone say, hey, it's the National Sports Authority. I used to come here and talk to the previous director generals and CEOs. Kennel Brock, no, he's CEO. We are talking about Malaysia, Commonwealth Games in Malaysia, I think 99 or what was the Commonwealth Games? But Aceh, and he was the CEO of the National Sports Council at the time. I used to come and interview him. There have been others, Prince Udro, Mensa, and a few others. And so for me, I'm very humbled and very calm about maybe I'm one because I know the kind of pressures that are here and the challenges that this place faces. So enough from, but you need to be very open-minded and also to appreciate, sir, you cannot do the job on your own. It's the institutional memory now, I'm tapping into that to make sure that I try to make an impact. It's not been easy, but I thank God, sir, favor was found in me by the president and those who decided to put me here. And a year and a half, or just over a year, I'm still here. If you must say I will not survive 6 months because almost say I am mafia. But there's no mafia. It's the perception that people have. Once upon a time, GFA and so now you say a mafia. It's about the perception that we have and the things that have happened previously. But so far, so good, very challenging, very difficult, very tough, sometimes very lonely because when everybody leaves, you need to sit down and consider certain things before you step out. But so far, it's been good, and I keep learning every single day.
Nice one. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
We are proud of you.
Thank you.
I mean, you are one of us, Ntino. Ebasana, Shey Ukraine say, there's a future like that for us. I mean, said the name so maba, me interview or office.
Right.
I never know
Exactly.
what lies ahead of me.
Amen.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Now, you really say, when you assume this position, what was the biggest problem and office ha? Now, because say the biggest challenge I be meet here now was how you.
Yeah, another very important question. But you know, at that particular time, now there were a few weeks to your World Cup qualifier.
Yeah.
Now you're both first phase, and this was the last stage at Chad, Mali, and Comoros. And we needed to win those matches to qualify for the World Cup. Just before that, Ghana, into me, unqualified for AFCON.
Yes.
It's not a big blow. And there was a lot of conversation about the way forward for Ghana football. Yes, let's bring everything back to square one, or we should continue and have patience. And the conversation, obviously, NSA could not be left out of that conversation. Into that, there was a lot of worries. One share, the World Cup qualifiers, we may have challenged the interim qualifier, even though there was positive hopes. Maybe I qualify. We had the players and a new Abayinfo Fraba, and the message from the president was, let's put the past behind us. Black Stars, but let's look forward and try to qualify for the World Cup. Obaha, the Black Stars' first training session, His Excellency came to talk to the boys, and I think for them, not a wake-up call and a relief. So, Oman Pini Waba, he's coming to tell us that the man qualifying yesterday. Let's focus. It took pressure off the players to say, we need to qualify, we need to make up for Ghanaians. It's, the biggest challenge was expectations. Not stadium, no, so it wasn't easy. There were a lot of challenges with the infrastructure and with, security and resources in terms of logistics and manpower. So decisions had to be taken quickly to make sure that you're very ready. No excuses. And one is say you better chat. No excuses. But there were a lot of challenges that I don't want to enumerate. So changes were made. Some of it not popular. People coming in because you see, ball it's not just about playing 90 minutes on the grass. I know if anybody tells you that that's football, whether it's Colts or World Cup, as you've seen. I share Belgium and USA. I stayed up till 3, 4 a.m. when the match ended, and there was a lot of politics around that game. And they said President Trump allegedly,
red card incident.
Or he intervened. In fact, not allegedly. On one can say, right. Now, the political ramifications and what that did, and my pressure, it gave the USA too much pressure. And from Bibi Anamewono, the statement by President Trump put the US at a disadvantage straight away. Straight away. Ebiano, he wanted to prove a point, but what he rather did was to put his team in a very bad position. Now, all the European countries, the neutrals, switched to support Belgium. Not because they have issues with the USA, but they felt an unfair advantage. And the president and then the FIFA president, the whole issue, it is a match, the pre-match discussions, purely politics. Purely politics. With CNN, BBC, Fox News, Sky Sports, they were all talking about, the political, what will happen? Was it good? Is this a good sign? Would it continue? Until already, before the game, the USA were under pressure. And it gave Belgium the favorites, the underdog status because, I said, President Trump has intervened illegally, say, or by USA. And it didn't work. I think they lost 4-1 in the end, a big loss. they may have had a different result. We don't know. Politics cannot be taken out of the equation, but there are a lot of things that you do quietly behind the scenes so that you don't give your team a disadvantage. So in that respect, we had to do a lot of things to make sure, say, the pitch was ready, the floodlights, the dressing room. There were so many things that were not properly ready, but we had to make it ready on the day. And by God's grace, I shared chat. And the crowd here was one of the biggest that we had seen. So there were so many. At a point, now one section of the stadium, not secured. Now you're sure about its structural integrity. Engineers and my advice said, yeah, you're sure until the memo now. And we agreed. We had soldiers, police. It was sealed off. Second half, you probably said 5,000 at the main gates. So we had a situation whereby we had to quickly take a decision. Say, in order to prevent a stampede at the gates, for the next 45 minutes, deputies, call round. And I need probably brains so but you know it was a big challenge. By God's grace, the match ended, everybody went home. Minor incidents here and there, but we won. And it was a huge crowd. The energy was intense, which means the vibe was back. Everybody went home happy. But we still had a lot of work to do. You know, we don't leave after the match. We stay several hours to check on so many things, the broken gate, security, and all the rest of it. But that was a wake-up call, and there was no honeymoon period. You know, say, take your time and enjoy it. There was nothing like that. It was a baptism of fire, and it was not easy, but we quickly recovered, and then we had to move on. It's management of Nipa situation and decision-making, short time, and you have people around with institutions that you have to quickly bounce it off. It's one of the biggest challenges for me was quickly taking decisions there and there. I can't make references when it's an action, you know. So that was quite a challenge, and by God's grace, we were able to sail through.
Yeah, try and come also no. Obi wa we nim Oki Rose as the director of National Sports Authority. Yenchire na kakra bi said e be ya nkomo no koso no obete nkomo na siye. But your Rose ni bi any saying position ya we was said here was we den.
Very well. It's the 16 regions of Ghana. Your sports facilities, whether it is stadium or whether it is a sports complex, whatever it is. In my example, Ho Sports Stadium in the Volta region, Ankrah Sports Stadium, Azuma Nelson Sports Complex, Babayara, Isipong, Cape Coast. These are stadiums under the National Sports Authority, but there are more. Tema Sports Stadium is another one. My key role is may ensure in all these facilities we have people there to make sure that the facilities are running, they are safe, and we keep them maintained so that we can continue to have sporting activities there. That's just one. And I hear somewhat personnel. We have staff in all the regions. I'm also supposed to make sure that they are well equipped in terms of information, logistics, training, capacity building. The decisions or the actions and plans and directions at our headquarters, it has to trickle down and impact them positively. That's two. The third one is also to create an environment where corporates would also come and support our buying. Because our buying on its own aims to meet and take the weight of expectations, the financial challenges, and what goes with it. It's apart from maintenance of our facilities, sports development, we are also supposed to go into the communities and make sure that talents are on. We find a way to let our regional coaches, district sports development officers to go out there, whether you're in a village, in somewhere we don't even know. So from the borders of Elubo to Aflau to we are responsible for unearthing talents to develop, and as a promotion.
Yeah.
It is quite huge. Apart from that, we need to come up with concepts, ideas, proposals, and projects that Ebema NSA, National Sports Authority, going forward, ensure that whether I am here or not, we have a template that me manage all these facilities and the people, and of course the ecosystem. So it is local to global. You host the Black Stars matches for her. Yes, so Emma permits and I said green lights for local community sports. Your boxing, your athletics, your table tennis, lawn tennis, handball. We have so many sports, and all of these 54 federations. Football is one, boxing is there, judo, taekwondo, as I said, swimming, and all of these. So 54, and we need to balance all of these and make sure that they are also following your guidelines to make sure that what they are doing for sports development is within the law, the Sports Acts, and the legislative instruments that have been put in place to protect the states, sports, federations, athletes, and all those in the ecosystem. So it is quite big. It is quite big.
So meaning that what you want to more of field work and yet office tenakeke. I mean, so nanti won't be brave.
I would say so, but executive position, it means that you would have to delegate. Not one of our officers, no, they will go and do the work. But of course, in modern sports administration, if you watch closely, the CEOs and the directors, they are on the field. They like to get close to the action. Not, they want to know what's, apart from reports, once in a while, you need to find out if it's really true.
Yes.
And yes, you'll be sitting in your comfort zone and someone will say sleeping on a job. And say, comments be that your slight issue be what Babayara infestation of weeds. Weeds cry tree, I can't say weeds. Ahaban. Any herbs. Okay. Weeds, okay, weeds it was not good for the grass. It's almost say I see two weeds, no, one by one. They need that technology or the tools, the equipment to do that. It's somebody on Monsa, and the Barbara's pitch is big.
And no crying the Atuu screen, so because I was about to ask you that question. Say you will somebody on Monsa moment more pitching, so instead of beer. Gadgets.
Yes, it's regional director, fantastic. Nana Jama Dankwa, or the proposal not by about a month ago. Say, director, look, this is the solution. Yeah. It's permission. Now we had a discussion. I'm sure you're sure. Say yes. It's me. We are. Then we can now bring the machines. Then we can do some sort of fertilization. Cross fertilization across the picture because the weeds will also. And our insecticide, or pesticides, we cannot use ABCD because last year it didn't work. She's got a horticultural background and estate background. It's me man of side respect, and I said, Nana, Cesadia, young yet, and that was it. A month for started sending me social media. What's going on there? And I said,
calm down.
I said, calm down. If I had not had engagement with my regional director and I didn't know, it would have been a shock to me as well. Because hey, why are they? But she reached out to me and said, look, we take our time and do that, and then we can do the technical, the machine work and all the rest. And I'm still fine. If that's what you're saying, then let's go ahead. So I knew about that, and I was a bit surprised by the perception say ejuma wo hona ese wo ya na oye ejuma no na enye fe. In doing the job it might not be nice, but it's the results you want.
That's it.
And we are looking at 6 weeks, 8 weeks time. But this is what must be done now. Childbirth, I've not given birth like a woman before, but watching
A process.
Yeah, it's you can tell. Any woman will tell you it's a process, but they wouldn't say because of that. Into my a man on casa. I didn't say maybe 4, 5, 6. It's a process.
Yes.
No pain, no gain. Fine, optics don't, but the reality is that you need those tools yet. Yet to say, it's like a mower with hooks, a bit picky. We don't have that yet, but the plan and the idea is to make sure in the next few months, results plus our equipment, let's get the best equipment for our pitches, not just Babayara, across all our stadia. It's been 3-4 stadia. It's been world-class matches in Ghana. And so you bet me I invited Cabo Verde and Belgium and Spain to come. The key thing is where are we going to play? They will send their scouts to look at the pitch. They will look at the stadium. They will look at security. Where are we going to stay? The hotel. How long is it? The weather. How long are we staying in Ghana? All these things. Is it going to be economical? Do they like football? Are we going to get a full house? Can we sell or televise this match to more countries? Oh, yes. Okay, and you call Ghana. You're Black Stars. You're Accra Sports Stadium. And Babayara Sports Stadium. Ghana at 70. You're Black Stars versus Spain. And whoever wins the World Cup. But where we are now, we pretend that we are a football nation. I don't know who we are deceiving. Ghana is not a football nation. Ghana was a football nation. Oh. Yes. Because in terms of facilities, and by God's grace, President Mahama has told us and is going to make resources available for additional stadia to be built. But in the meantime, stadia, we need to also raise it to a certain level. This is not something that we got to last year and our last 2 years. Over the years, they are neglected our facilities, in terms of maintenance, and also having a clear-cut policy set, regardless of party A or B or C. This is Ghana. This is what we're going to do. This is the roadmap. Thank you. As we're building, a 4-carriageway to Kumasi or a 3-carriageway, whatever it is, whoever comes in 5, 8, 10 years, that should be a project that you should maintain, constantly monitor. And just say you're Syrian and one or not, we don't do that. So we need to be honest that once upon a time, after we won the 4th AFCON in '82 in Tripoli, yes, at that time, you would say Ghana was a strong football nation. But since then, we've struggled because we've taken things for granted. Say, oh yeah, football nation. Sir, I'm a Egypt, I'm a Ivory Coast, other countries, they are coming on board. Look at Cape Verde. Cape Verde in 2006, you called prior, and you called Cape Verde. It's a 5-0, and you had to qualify. First time, Black Stars. Look at Cape Verde today and Black Stars today. No disrespect. It will be difficult for you to say, if you say Cape Verde, and that's not being unpatriotic. That's how they have developed. And we are still trying to hold on to our past and not move forward to try and build a new. You see, the situation we have right now, we need to work triple, quadruple hard. And yes, sir, we'll continue to fall back.
Abusianfo enkomo no de ebi wo pa. Ye twa ho ne abaye ba me wo questions bebre ma no. Me sure say de wo twen say me busa ni nyina no me de bre wo. Twen na ye twa ho mra ye ba. Atuu. Yada se wajibre na watwen na yetwa ho aba na me ka wo se opanyina a me ne bon komo no wono na watwere buki enche yebeka ho asem ne ya kire obi abenya bi ato ye fe no yaw Ampofo Ankrah ne din de pa now me nkomo a me pese me no to aso yebeka World Cup na kakra me ba ha no I got the chance to walk around kakra me who say your chairs no be na a week e be abubu usoma to say we are not shina ma ayemre. I think say ye hosty can ewo Ghana hanana ye fixes our chairs we. What's the plan about your chairs and mobile sesano ye be painty and I'm say was no be brain so no nsuo no toto ntina ma ho bebre aye fi ene ne ye hwi bebre aye fi and na fe so ma say floodlight no ma say ba ko bi say abu ho no so
me hope say nice you so be here no.
Oh yeah. Yes. And nice one there grass in there top notch. Just that a few ones in your chairs, and I don't blame you because I will watch it.
Right.
I want to know the way forward.
Right. But yeah, I think you've said it. The work of a journalist is to just bring these things out and ask questions. It's in order, and I think, sir, you've hit the nail right on the head. Yeah. Several tours. Just briefly, top of my head, Botiman Sports Complex, Tamale Park, and not just Aliyu Mahama Sports Stadium, but Kaladan, your friend saying, Nkoko Stadium, Ho, Bando, Esipon, Cape Coast, quite a number. Even Takwa, which also falls under the administrative management of NSA, but at the moment we have an agreement with Mediama Sporting Club and the District Assembly to manage it. Ubisa said, what are the plans? It's a report, no? It is there, and I can make a copy available to you. We have a lot of challenges. Infrastructure-wise, you see edifices, beautiful, and all the rest of it. There isn't a consistent, deliberate strategy, plan, or framework to maintain it on a regular. Nyaya Wagan and say, problem no bar, then we address it. But what we should be doing, and which is what we hope to activate every 3 months, every 4 months, every 2 months, depending on facility, you need to have a complete maintenance check. So depending on how long the facility has been there and how it was built, and if it's near the sea, for example, I say you're being, yes, and the corrosion, the sea material, or should I say the wind that blows, when the temperature rises or drops, the material that you've used to put up this structure, it will go and then stick to it. It's we use steel foundations, and now you use metallic, it will definitely have an effect. But this decision was taken years ago.
Yes.
But here we are facing the problem. We cannot go and blame it. On my mistake, I find. What do we do about it? Going forward, obviously, we are not going to build stadiums like this again. It will not happen. We've learned the hard way. The problem and the challenge, and this is something that we need to, the stakeholders in the ecosystem, we need to take a decision. Accra Sports Stadium, rehabilitate it at what cost? And let's bring everything down, relocate, and I say, see another one. It's one of the reasons the regional directors, including Ashanti, Najama, Western Region, Central Region, the MNE head of estates, Omo America still, is to look at the models. Obviously, into me and lift it, Philadelphia and Boston Stadium, but there are aspects and elements of it that would help in Ghana. In Somonia reports in FAMRA, then we look at how is that feasible. Can we look at the American model? Should we look at Asia? Should we look at Africa, where we have the North Africans? For many years, they've been building very good stadia. Now Tanzania, Mali, Senegal, Ivory Coast, there are stadiums. We don't need to go too far. Which models do we want? How much will it cost? How many are we building? Maintenance and all of this. Expertise, no ewo. We need to do that and make sure, say, Ghana, when we start on that next level, and when I say the next level, it's going to be a huge leap. But for now, because of these challenges, The president, in his wisdom, has said for now, let's tone down, let's build a couple of new facilities, and then gradually also make sure the communities and the regions also feel a part of the sports development, not just the big, cities and capitals. Then we can now look for funding to build these mega structures that will take 60, 70, 80,000 supporters, Olympic Stadium. Look for a venue outside Accra, maybe relocate, the capital. These are conversations for the years to come, but certainly we need to have them, and it's easy. So Accra Sports Stadium is an old building with a lot of challenges, but we're making do with what we can and seeing how long it will last until the time. But inevitably, either we spend a lot of money to reset the stadium and do a lot of work, including what we cannot see under the stadium and the foundation, which would be in itself engineering expertise at the highest level, or re-engineering, semi-roofing, and all the rest of it. Then we tackle it. But it's not something that we could have even attempted to deal with within the short time Yaba into office. But it's something that we've addressed in terms of what needs to be done and when, and give it a time scale to execute the works.
Talking about our facilities, especially the stadium, now saying Yetisena Sports Minister Kase, Yura Ibrahim Mama, a taxi almost say, one or two B. I think the Boston Stadium also. Na yankeka no mansia ni na yenhwe na say the okay renovation ebe yo say be seed fufuro. Are you aware of this?
Yes, but now at that time na me do US because na me wa watch party for other matches. In fact, me share Ghana England and Ghana Panama before I flew to that, and it's a welcome intervention by Mr. Ibrahim Mahama. We know we don't need to tell Ghanaians who he is and what he does. When he says it, 99.9%, he does it unless there's something he cannot, do. So for that one, once he's opted or offered, then we need to be sharp and do our homework. And luckily, Sanya Mekano, we have technical people who are the regional directors. Each of them, Central Region, 19 years at NSA, Western Region, I think 18 years, Ashanti, also almost 20 years at the NSA, and the M&E, the estate manager. They have a lot of institutional memory. And some more on that, they will know how to put that report together and submit it to the NSA, the ministry, and then, of course, forward it to Mr. Ibrahim Mahama. And then we look at it together and we take the right decision based on informed opinions and technical reports by people who have been running stadia in Ghana for so many years. Yeah.
But technically, I think Senka, I was say, or more officially they should inform you. I don't know whether officially you've been told. If not per report, I think has there been any official communique? Say,
World Cup so it will come.
All right, sure.
Administrative processes, no. There are ways and channels. You are right, but once I'm aware whether it's second hand or not, and so we are doing our homework, and it's important. I say, teamwork. No, yes, but I've heard, but it's positive news.
Okay, sure.
Regardless of how it comes, let's make sure we take full advantage and push the agenda to improve our infrastructure.
That's good. Now, you have heard World Cup. Ghana call World Cup maybe with the hope say, in fact, the year corner they not team for hope no form because we watched our friendly matches Ankrah and Tinani that's one form until say you could do her. I one goal against Panama and I who say, hey, Ghana you see in tournament ball and them I didn't I pick until near him say betting baby against England. So we did well. Or me a share and so and show more. Until a month for your hope say, hey, history is about to repeat itself because you be paying. Until you go Croatia. Obviously, now game no winning shouldn't here because you renew you qualify. To avoid uncertainties, it be so you lose na yankonya weaker team rather. and they lose you and Jacosia, Colombia. Agra, Colombia for colonizing. To me, Antwaso. Were you disappointed? Say, Omuyi free mo. And I say, you saw that coming.
With him, back to okay, say before tournament, no. Now, the belief was down, and for Coach Carlos Queiroz, over so much experience, he only had one friendly match to assess his players. Yeah. And Ankrah, it's a friendly match has a different vibe. So I was sympathizing. I wouldn't envy the coach. Why are there? Why are there in the sense that with what he had, the time he had, the opposition, the group, and the World Cup level, no? Why are there? Ghana could have lost the 3 matches easily. Not that Panama was better, but almost they are a team. They were prepared. They know what. But Ghana had to quickly assemble these boys. We could have done better with selection. Now we can come back and say, oh, Biana, Ankrah, we had injuries, Mohamed Salisu, of course, Kudus, Alexander Jiku. Yeah. There are other key players who, for one reason or the other, either were not selected or were not, I've said it over and over again. Say, if I had a choice, from player back up, but I would say, okay, me play the day you, but they're more fun and shame. But it doesn't work like that. And once the team is selected, then we all support and make sure they go as far as possible. Not disappointed in our elimination, but I think performance-wise against Colombia, we didn't have rhythm. They need rhythm. The boys know they were trying, they were forcing, but it wasn't there. And that comes with playing together for a long time, a bit taking time. The coach would also need to know his players, close his eyes, and make substitutions. And we've seen that with Norway. We've seen that with France. Obviously, France have more advantage. Even France with all the talent, look at how consistency and continuity, very solid. Cape Verde, classic example. Substitutions normally in each of their matches, you could see the coach knew exactly what he wanted because he knows his players and the players know each other. Egypt, to an extent, Mo Salah is not the crazy dribbling player of 5-6 seasons ago, but you can see his wisdom and his ball sense, experience. And experience is very important. All these teams have an experienced player or two. Cape Verde was a goalkeeper. You have Brazil trying out with Neymar. It didn't work, unfortunately. Even though he's relatively young, he's a senior player in the team. And you have that. Ghana, we didn't have so many experienced players. You might say, goalkeeper Asari, or experienced, but he's never played a World Cup. Yeah. We had all these challenges, and in the end, we fell short. So, disappointing, but it gives us room to ask very serious questions to make sure we don't go back and every tournament, review, then we go back and repeat the same mistake. So going forward, let's come back, calm down. I know there are a lot of raw emotions, and look at the issue of football management, administration, long-term planning, football as an entity, an ecosystem, and the Black Stars, how the ecosystem can benefit, and then take decisions for the long term. Get a coach that will give time, a quality coach. This is what we want in the next 3, 4, 5 years. Let's bring him on. If Carlos Queiroz will be kept, I don't know, but I think we should start afresh. And then the players, let's make sure that we look far and wide, and also give local players opportunity. I think, as a policy, it should be that at least minimum 3 local players should be in every Black Stars. That's the least, minimum. And they are controversial, but tradition and history may not play football like it used to, but it is also a factor. And Argentina showed that against Cape Verde. Any other team, they were not match Cape Verde could have shocked them. as we saw with Germany being upset and Holland, even though it went to penalties. So traditionally, we have a belief that there are two big clubs in Ghana. Depending on Kotoko and the Hearts, Yakobo World Cup, I think going forward, we should have a discussion on how Kotoko and Hearts can represent the other Ghana Premier League clubs. Now, you have one player from Hearts, one player from Kotoko. Not just one, but the best players. Omokwa, what that does is that spiritually, psychologically, and everything, the support is there. Kotokoba, Hearts. Yes, we can't take every player, I mean, Diama, but at least your Ghana Premier League being represented by two of the biggest clubs. Yeah, commentary now, substitutes, but commentator Becca said, Asante Kotoko, Ashanti region, Hearts of Oak, first club in Ghana. These are little things that maybe in trying to focus on ball, no, the FA, let's forgive them, they did not consider. But going forward, I think we should make it a policy that every World Cup, you have one Hearts and one Kotoko player, the best players to go and represent Ghana in addition to European and foreign-based players. I think it would work.
That's good. And now what can because we go on take Kotoko da. The commentator na can wait me Google how Kotoko yeden but yate Arsenal, yate Liverpool, Chelsea, yate and I think say and aside that crano sikana players ni nyano crano any teams no ni na back to
Ghana.
Eboa GDP no ma ekoso. Nice one. Now with the coach ebi say wa resign officially, so if any chira let it be a my but you know you ne write up na write up no o te brofo na o kan brofo na the opposite change na say oda ya say oko now ebi say you try ni maintain no ebi say so obekwa a onko now for a coach to do such to write this meaning say na kuma mu no oko do you think we can convince him enough to stay? And do you think that it's necessary to convince him to stay? But we have two questions.
One, Saubek, a so convincing coach, no, there, it's not a good sign.
Good.
Football, yes, a business, it's professional. It's we say let's put pleasure or anything aside. It's business, but say coach, no, nakuma any team no more, and I say. His heart is not with Ghana or the Black Stars, and we need to convince him. What are we going to convince him with? Is it money? If it is money, then it's not a good sign. But if the coach himself says, I feel I can do something with this team, it's a positive sign. Yeah. But trying to convince him, yeah, of course, we'll be negotiating. Yeah, we want this coach, Moreno. Nah, I'm not interested in Ghana. We'll be convincing him. But let us not get mixed up with having a conversation about getting the best coach for Ghana who wants the challenge of legacy now. I want to take Ghana to the AFCON to win. I want to take Ghana to the next World Cup. Give me 4 years. Ratime Dukovic, if I'm not mistaken, he took on a lower salary but a big bonus. Say Ghana a qualifier, he'll get a bonus. If Ghana gets out of the group stage, Germany 2006, and that shows you that the guy had the confidence and the zeal. Say obey BB. He didn't say they be mommy say now, mommy say. So we should get a coach who also has a vision, a project to present to the GFA. He said, this is what I want to do, and I think I can do it. And the GFA, he should rather convince us that he's the right man to execute this job for the Black Stars. But trying to convince a coach, where it gets to a point where if you over, and I say, oh, Panacho, you are begging.
That's what Baso now say.
Right, yeah, that is a problem. Exactly, that's a problem because the person has made up her mind that she's leaving and you're still chasing. She may stay, but she's got a different mind, and I don't think that's healthy for Ghana.
Ebi suspected Heavy Rainer said he could be the next coach if we fail to, maintain Carrots. Because on also so no, proud to us hiring a coach here will be Koyana say or they call World Cup. Now there were rumors say on also so war because that time not the team or war Saudi,
right.
No, no more we. Now Tunisia for Kofano, latter party for World Cup. We are resigning. We so nti kase ebe enye nwanwa say obetuma be Blaster coach. Ebe nwanwa say papa no heavyweight na be say come back to the Black Stars of Ghana. Ebe nwanwa. Because we coach here
Well, coach here 2000 and AFCON 2008.
Yes.
No, yeah.
And he did well, right?
Assistant with Claude Lera.
Yes.
But at that time, Ankrah say or a fitness coach, whether fitness coach or a coach. He said Mourinho, no, so an interpreter. And look at the trajectory of Hervé Renard. He's got a lot of experience. 2 AFCON, I think Zambia and Ivory Coast, right? And played against Ghana, so he knows the terrain. On a lot of the francophone players and our players on board France, so he knows about them. He knows Ghana's football DNA, which is very important.
Too.
Africa. It's an advantage. I know Binyane say he doesn't have to come and learn the politics of, football on the continent. What he would have to quickly put his feet on the ground that Sameba, I'm 100% in charge. If I get it wrong, you can let me go and now you can sack me. But if you want to interfere in my job and to meddle and to tell me what to do, you see that I think that's one thing about Hervé Renard. Wherever he goes, you're so stubborn or you're difficult. But I think what he does is when, at least we've been informed that anytime they try to control him, or you're very stubborn, he doesn't want that. He wants to make his mistakes and take it 100%. Into player in position, I know that he will not agree. So those are things. Enyesika, I don't think it will be a money issue. So I think he's got the experience.
Or we need AFCON with Ivory Coast and Zambia also.
Right,
so
he's got the experience. So maybe a local coach, you never know. Kwesi Appiah is with Sudan still. I don't think his contract has ended. There could be another foreign coach or another African coach. You never know.
Let's see. Yeah. So in this decision making, do they involve you and how the powers in or say the next coach who should be Ghana's coach? I am more involved. What's that decision taking?
Why they involve me?
Maybe a FA boss.
So we were very cordial relationship with the FA. The FA, GFA is under National Sports Authority. There's a history going back to I think 2006, first World Cup I qualified Germany. Now, Honorable Yao Osafo, he was the minister in charge of sports. Dr. Tony Orban, Dr. Kofi Amoah, and a few other personalities, I believe, these were the key people, of course, Kwesi Nyantakyi. The conversation about qualifying for the World Cup and what we need to do. They corporate Ghana, the Goldfields, and then Guinness and other corporates came on to support in a big way at Ebi Sida. And around that time, the conversation of what sort of coach do we want for Ghana. So before Rachel Dukovic came, now we were BBC, and Dukovic had just left. Is it Burundi or Rwanda? I always get it mixed up. He had lost, and he had parted ways. My colleague, I'm in the ward desk at Bush House land. Your friend, Nick Cavo, and Piers Edwards, and he didn't come on. I said, "Yowster, this coach would be good for Ghana." And I'm saying, I don't think we can afford him. I don't think blah blah. I put a call to Dr. Kofi Amoah. Said, "This coach is available, Doc." Fast forward 1 month later, Dr. Amoah Eba, UK, about London. And then we had a proper conversation. I said, you mentioned there's a coach. I said, Dukovic, he's available. I have his contact. I got my BBC colleague, got his contact, and I gave it to Dr. Amoah. That was the beginning of Dukovic coming to Ghana and their qualifier. Sometimes it is not public, but if you check with Dr. Amoah, Kwesi Nyantakyi, Anthony Bafo was also part of it. Ransford, my Sunyani, he was, in fact, he played the biggest role because Dukovic Bayano, he's the one who helped him to settle down, not to East Legon, before he settled down to his job, and he did a fantastic job. So sometimes conversations behind the scenes, Obe recommend it, but whether they listen to you or not depends on the one receiving. But we do talk, we do have suggestions and input. Even if you don't come to me, I would make it known where it's appropriate, and then decisions are taken. Yeah.
Enche, yeah, then come on, baby. Now, after World Cup, one player make us say people are bullying by Jordan Ayew. Oko social media, the trolls, who ana oyem crash show. Jordan, ohwe tournament bi, mpacho oye boni bi aye hu ana because as obi aye na Jordan, na Jordan, na Jordan. Well, me person me emotional though, but Jordan to you, what is saying? Oh, the sports journalist, only born seeing.
Very dedicated, one of our most dedicated players. Very quiet. His path has been somehow under the shadow of Dede Ayew. Dede is more expressive on the pitch. Dede's ball at Dede Bono, more impactful to the eyes. Right. Jordan will do a lot of work in 90 minutes, but the coach will be happy. Obemana, Atuu, because why are they? The coach will be happy. The spectators and fans will be like, oh, but he didn't play. But tactically, he's given various roles to play in matches, and sometimes, we just think it's all pass it, and it can be frustrating, but we don't understand. And some have drawn statistics over his playing career, but we forget, say, a lot of the games are Jordan. Go back and check. He does a lot of tracking too. People will not talk about that. And sometimes his presence is a decoy. The only problem is that you need enough players who can pick those balls when Jordan drags defenders. Now there's space now, then you quickly. Osha England's first goal against Mexico. Harry Kane, he didn't go to score or train defenders. And Saka across here, and there was nobody tracking Jude Bellingham. Empty net, literally. So sometimes the decoy is there, but the execution by other players, no. And it is the same with Antoine Semenyo. Club side, or support, they are running. Everybody knows. It's a telepathy. So it's easy for him to shine his talents. And there's nobody competing with him. Once you're on the same team, we have the same goal. Haaland, Shah, Semenyo, Shah, it's okay. Nobody has any complaints. We need to devise that mentality in the team. I'm sure they have it, but at times, Oshabor now, it is not so obvious. It's, Jordan there, I think we should commend him for his dedication. One match and one tournament and 3 matches. Now we've forgotten about all the years of service. And it's the same to me with Andre Dede Ayew. Asamoah Gyan, I think last minute, maybe the FA realized, said, okay, we've made mistakes with our past captains. Said Dede has not retired. Officially. So, Asamoah Gyan, let's try and honor him with an ambassador's role. Let's get him more involved. But I think it should be something that should be a policy for CK Akono, John Mensah, even going back to Kwesi Appiah, Abedi Pele, Stephen Appiah, who has a role now. Yeah. But let's make sure that we don't forget about the sacrifices of our players because of one match or one tournament or anything like that. They are human beings. They make mistakes. They have families. And, hey, I said, a player's daughter or son will come and say, oh, but daddy, they're saying this and that. So let's also consider. We are emotional, yes. But let's consider that the players there, what they are doing, if you and I cannot do it, and the other players, let's leave them to, represent the country. To Jordan there, I have no beef with him. I have no issue with him. I think we should understand that football is like that. Lukaku, at a point, Belgium fans didn't want to hear him.
Yes.
They said, he's done.
Yes.
He's too old. He's too slow. Today, Lukaku is the savior of Belgium.
Yeah.
So
You never know.
you never know. And he's not too old. So let's be considerate about some of these things.
Asama okanyama makaya bebu bi I say otawala udware awuso. I treat ni because the other paper onim no. Maybe our china na the paper. And the other paper no ntino.
Be careful.
You never know.
You can't tell.
Now, ye baby no. Ohwe World Cup pa country bena who rate abaka say or upper hand so between a lift trophy no. Ronaldo unfortunately is going.
Yeah, it's honestly for the first time I can't tell. I really it can be a new team. So Norway, Oman panic here. If they don't panic, I think Norway may go far because so far they've not played 100%. Okay. I think there's still 5 or 10% and Norway beats me. I caught up. Spain, or more potential. Argentina, how many Cape Verde, Boria, I realize they'll be difficult to beat. Yeah, you need a team that has to be 90 minutes on top. Maybe France. It might be a repeat. Yes. And France, so far, no. Team behind stretch and more. So I don't know. Maybe a final, semi-final, not almost exploded. Argentina, there, Cape Verde, a stretch and we saw their reaction, but it was close. A more experienced side than commercial Argentina. A more experienced side than commercial Argentina. So Spain, Argentina, France, Norway. Norway, they've not really exploded, but the way they handled Brazil, no. I say, on a pattern, there's something happening for them. Maybe.
Norway is playing England.
Yeah.
So how much, no?
Man, England, my second home, as it were. England, I still, though one way I did against Mexico, but the Mexicans were not clinical in the second half or numerical advantage. I just thought DR Congo exposed England a bit if they had been more lethal. 2-0, England would have had to now open up, and that is where I felt that Congo would have totally picked them off. But almost so England is picking up. Every test, Biana. So, is it coming home? I don't know. It could be
tough.
Yeah, but the Europeans have more numbers now. I don't think Colombia, after beating Ghana, can, only Switzerland. It should be tricky.
Brazil also South America for the
Argentina. But they've not been, they may be tested again. Omar passing one test against Cape Verde. Can they survive against France or Spain? Even England, who are a bit more experienced. Let's wait and see. But I hope England, for personal reasons, go to the final, somehow win. But whichever team gets to the final, I hope to go back and watch it if I get permission.
And they're quite interesting. So I golden boot, more tough.
Wow.
It's
beautiful.
So let's see how it goes.
Haaland.
Yeah.
Messi.
Mbappe.
Kane is picking up. And Kylian Mbappe. Yeah. So it's one of the hottest goal king. But unfortunately, the host nations, they've all gone home. Or they are staying home. I thought USA, the way I almost started, they would get to at least semi-final, but Belgium, yeah. Belgium.
Now, I have 2 questions now and wrap it up. Bakoye allegation against you from Haiti Powers. Of Amishoso, in fact, that day, all background also new fuel. Because Ampofo, the investment in Ashi. Na Wamafiano. No kasa ayibibiyama or staging a boxing bout be any ban also now more close to arena no. But they now they are ite powers to the sense also unya crop boom na.
That's a crop madam. My friend is a crop fana eating come. I think I eat powers, and to be fair, or a very he wears his emotions on his sleeve, or he doesn't hide things. But maybe I'm an easy scapegoat because or can be yes, But the truth of the matter is very simple. Now, boxer be I'm sure you're aware of what happened, and now ASC take a quick decision. The former president of Ghana boxing, we had to take some firm disciplinary action against him. Now, Onwa resigned. He took himself away. There was a vacuum. And there were about 5 or 6 fights sanctioned over a period of 1 month. I said in other parts of the country. We took a decision, say, boxing license, no, withdraw. And until further notice, all boxing bouts in Ghana are suspended. Oba officer, and then the crew, say, are you going to ban Ghana boxing? I'm saying, David, we're not going to ban Ghana boxing. It's okay, because we hear you are going to ban Ghana boxing. I'm saying, no, we are not going to ban Ghana boxing. But we'll suspend boxing for some time, and we'll see how it goes. No, so good. And then they left. So I think suspension, no, because I said we're not going to ban, to them, they can go ahead and organize their fight. But no, it was across, whether Aite Powers, whether Sharaf Mahama, whether Azuma Nelson, all the promotions that were lined up, no, we had to stop. We froze them. And yes, I got a lot of criticism. Calls, threats, not Aite Powers. Messages, be on my phone, threats. I can't survive 1 week without boxing. Now, boxing is feeding the whole. Yeah, but I had the support of the minister and then the boxing ecosystem, the hierarchy. They said, yeah, we cannot risk another fight and something goes wrong. You, the minister, all of us will be held responsible. Let's calm down, let's take our time, and let's suspend boxing, and let's do the homework. So I had to take that decision. I mean, it's not, and you're nice, but I'm sorry. And I told him, said, Charlie, later I'll buy, I said, but you said you will not ban boxing. I said, we've not banned boxing. We've suspended it. He said, yeah, but I've invested 100 million and all the rest. And I'm saying, 100 million is, okay, 100 million. I'll say 1 million. Yeah, and I'm saying, right, bring everything, take it to the IMC and request for them to support. I am not IMC. Now we have a boxing body. Talk to them. Azuma Nelson is there and all these people. Talk to them. And I would also support, say, okay, let's help Aite. Let's get sponsorship. But he didn't quite get it. But he will be fine. There's no beef and there's no issue. But sometimes issues bar out, you speak to it once and then you leave it. Otherwise, you'll be repeating yourself in defending. And there's nothing to defend. We had to do a job which is not easy, and we had to take a tough decision.
Your last bite in a Yanko. Kevin Prince Boateng by allegation, he said, your Pamon will come. Something like that. And after that, the Black Stars has never been the same. Are you aware of something like that? Maybe, sir.
I've heard, I've seen, but it depends on what he means after that the Black Stars have done. Reverend Osei Kufi also said something some years ago regarding treatments at previous football, GFA, MR players, and pain, anger, bitterness. Some of them allegedly are Black Stars. But you see, all these things, I think we all have belief systems, and they are ordering what you think about more, and what you want to go closer to normally leads you to a certain path. So for me, 2005, Stephen Appiah, I remember, they came to him and said, Ghana will not qualify for the World Cup unless you go and see the former captains and get their blessings and all the rest. And I even said, he has no problem with anybody. What he has to do, he will do. And I do remember Stephen Fee and Abedipele Fee is about a walking distance of less than 5 minutes. You can ride there in 2 minutes. They live very close. And I know Stephen went to see Abedipele, Kwesi Appiah, CK Akono was before Stephen, right? All those captains. Not to beg them or anything like that, but just to tap into them that, look, we are almost at the crossroads, and I hear we need to all be united. We need your blessings, your goodwill, and your support. Now and qualify for the World Cup. So he did what he had to do. Privately, I'm sure, said, whatever he had to do as a captain, he did it. And Ghana qualified for the World Cup for the first time. And then that broke a pattern. And we were able to go for another, South Africa, Brazil, and then, of course, Qatar, and now the USA. So a lot depends on what you believe and what you embrace or what you accept. So for me, let's be positive. Let's look at the brighter side, and let's go closer to that side, and we'll be fine. Amen. Ghana football will be fine.
Thank you so much. So before we go, maybe say so be because it's interesting. Maybe I've seen a lot. Now, January 30th, because I'm a January born. Me date
right.
13th.
Yeah.
Maybe 13th January. Me ready all. Or say a man or woman who defends your name in your absence and seeks nothing in return. That is rare loyalty.
Then it means you are a very loyal person.
Yes. So,
sure.
Book very interesting. I can't wait to go and read them. Obi Pedi Obenya Wahin, The Power of West.
It's sold out. Very interesting. Yeah, promotional copies, and they've all been sold out. You be relaunched with our digital partners. Now, I know the memo details now. Then that will be getting closer to the end of the year for 2027. It's hopefully by October latest, they're relaunch, an updated version of this one. It's the current ones they are printed there is sold out because it's every one quote a day plus bonus quotes are Unauthorized and Abedipele, Pele, Maradona, Muhammad Ali, Mahatma Gandhi, they're all in there. So we are a copy.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you. You see, I do be PB out of their own.
I sold out, but you're on train, you will give out the information.
You do my information.
Absolutely.
But you do what PB. We say, I don't know, okay, and you'll be never catch you. So the power of West. Ube ya one, only ya. A woman say the answer the age my day. But one no a show cry. A sambu above. Into the power of West. I will tell you where you can get some. I do a Baba radio so. Na wabeche. Minia, Yamishao.
Thank you so much.
I really enjoyed this discourse.
Yes, it's been an education for me as well. Questions not tricky make a but it's all in good faith. I respect your line of questioning. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yamishao. Or last words to the viewers.
Oh, I mean, I'm saying Ghana there, it's we are blessed, but we should look at the blessings and not dwell so much on your challenges and your problems. I think in the whole world, for me, I wouldn't choose any other country but Ghana. When you travel and you interact with people and you come back home, anytime you have a tournament or assignments or anything, or back up, before you land, especially say evening flights, then you see the lights, there's some feeling of I'm coming back home. It's difficult to express or explain, but that feeling, it makes you feel, say, yes, you belong. And I don't have that for any other country or place. So we should protect what we have, and we should be more considerate of each other as brothers and sisters. And yes, there material world, this world of technology, if you're not careful, we'll give all these things away and we'll lose sight of what is important. Let's show love. Let's spread love. Let's preach love, and let's manifest love. And BBA be fun. BBA be. Thank you.
Anyway, Atuu. Yamishra, bro. Yamishra. Abusia ahana yedisi. Yeah, sure. So I enjoy pa some of these interviews. Yeah, and they cry na wotum say benyanka yento aso saa but eyemre ene de ye adwumanti no ye de besi ha nyame ya adom adasene we have another exclusive interview for you aha UTV ye frame na Romeo asidan koma team ni nyina ye from director opako sa me de sa na friend team boama na fi ye bra penyini Roger Kote ye papa ye Dr. Father Dixon and afi lawyer Kennedy Osei any camera light sound makeup mini aba fati any production tiwa any melo and obi oboy bia no yada masenana yamishira aseda so ekodi ama aboafo MTN omo say omo di 30 years eti bombodia na koso afa MTN di juma na ko woni mu abrabom this way chocolate drink the here is share best point savings and loans for sika koto and afi special ice mineral water omo nyina so yase yame adoma dasene yebehia Atuu